Namaste, yogis. Just come to standing at the front of the mat. We're going to go through a pretty simple, structured practice this morning, loosely based on the Ashtanga primary series. So just have your intention to be present with your body, to be present with your heart, and to be present with your breath. So we practice the Ujjayi breathing. Take a couple of breaths, just waking breath up. So standing in Tadasana, kind of like you're standing at attention, but the attention is attention to the self. So your legs are sturdy, your feet are grounded and balanced. Chest is lifted, top of the head reaching skyward. And breathing through the nose into the back of the throat, deep slow breaths. With the exhale, we're doing this lift from the low belly, from the pelvic floor, the root block, and upward to the Uddiyana on the Bandha, the Neva block. And we relax the legs as we inhale. Let's take the arms up. Stretch, 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 waking up the energy with a simple movement and beginning to synchronize. Exhale. Inhale. Doing that vibration through the back of the throat. Exhale. And one last time like that, just reaching up. Exhale. Namaste, standing in balance. Take the forward fold. So the first one, certainly, and any afterwards, you could bend the knees, especially if you're feeling a little tight this morning. I always feel a little tight all the time. Take a little lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And you can hop back, certainly, if you like, with a step to plank. Keep the legs nice and sturdy, or put the knees down. And squeeze your shoulder blades together as you rock forward and lower your elbows to chest height. And you can take Cobra for your first back bend this morning, or you can go right into upward facing dog. But don't push it, just starting to wake up the body. And then you can use your knees, or use your belly to roll right over your feet. And we'll be here for 5 breaths. So just wake up your breath now. Slow it down and deepen. Lengthening the spine and getting back in those legs. And certainly for this first down dog, you feel to bend one knee so that you can emphasize pressing the other leg back, the other heel down. You can also work on stretching to the toes of the leg that you're bending. 2 more breaths. Pushing even through the hands. Decompressing the body. This is one of the benefits of the practice. And then filling all the space you create with fresh prana and eliminating any gathered up, any accumulated toxins. So you can hop to the front, bending the knees and hopping, or walk straight up to inhale. Exhale forward. Rise to standing, reaching to the sky and looking up. Exhaling the hands to the heart. We'll do 3 A's. This is an A series sun salutation from the Ashtanga system. The inhale lifts the chest, and you probably know this sequence. You can put the knees down if you like. Pushing through the Cobra or upward dog, and going back to down dog. Standing on the hands and feet for 5 breaths. Long, slow, fluid breaths, pushing strongly through the hands. Getting into the shoulders, lifting the navel to the spine with your exhales. Your thighs are lifted, your kneecaps are lifted. Heels are rooting down, calves are open. And then at the end of this exhale, hop or step to the front. And you inhale to your flat back. You can bring the hands up as high as they need to be. And you can bend your knees as much as they need to be bent to lengthen the spine. Dropping down, then sweeping up. Reaching to the heavens. Coming back to the center with the self. And again, inhale. Take your time feeling your body starting to wake up more and more each time you go through the sequence. Lifting the heart, looking forward, stepping back, hopping back, rocking forward, chaturanga, Ardha Svanasana, Ardha Svanasana. And anytime you need to rest, honor that by going to child pose. One of the nice things about practicing in your own space is that you can really make it your own without feeling self-conscious that you're bothering anyone else or disrupting the flow of the group class. Not that you should ever feel that way anyway. Coming to the front of the mat. That's our third A series. And up. So this is all part of the warm-up. We go right into B now. Just take the first one easy. Utkatasana, chair pose, sitting down. Uttanasana, forward bend. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Chaturanga Dandasana, looking forward. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, sturdy legs. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, before you finish the exhale, the right foot comes forward and the back heel grounds. Square your chest and hips as much as you can as you float up and down with an inhale. Rotating to the ball of the back foot. Come back to Chaturanga. Ardha Mukha. Exhale. Left foot, back heel, balance on the feet. Up and down with one inhale. Stepping back and lowering. Flowing through. And going back for 5. So, you might not find you want to adjust your feet further back or bring them a little closer. The main thing is you want to have a sense that you're getting more weight back in your legs with each exhale. So it might be useful to bend the knees, open the feet wider if you're feeling tight. Hamstrings, lower back, hips, shoulders. 3 more breaths here. And at the end of this one, you can hop or walk up. Inhale. If you do hop, practice landing as quietly as you can. Back to chair on the way up. And back to Namaste in between each one, connecting. Flowing again. B. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Chaturanga Dandasana. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Ardha Mukha. Right foot forward. Flowing the Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Left foot forward. So it's really a breathing exercise as you synchronize movement and breath. And just feeling yourself in the body. Just connecting with your body, with your breath. Keep it simple. No judgment. Practice being, simply be. And with the exhale, make your way to the front. Inhale. Exhale to fold into Uttanasana. Sit down deep. Utkatasana. Samastiti. Last beat. Flowing with breath. Grounded on your feet. So important to look forward and not down when you're in your chaturanga. It really helps to keep the shoulders safe and the chest open. You really want to keep those elbows over the wrists, and your chest just comes about to shoulder, elbow height. Then with the exhale, make your way to the front. And here's your inhale. Looking up. Follow your belly, drop all the way down. And just notice your body is feeling a little more lubricated, a little more warm and mobile. Start to feel the energy flowing, strength flowing. Now we just open the feet, maybe 6 to 8 inches. And go over and take hold of your big toes with the first 2 fingers. So your first 2 fingers slide between the big toe and second toe. And your thumbs wrap around the inside of the big toe. And you just pull up on the big toes, elbows sideways. At the same time as you pull up on the toes, push down with the toes. And lift your shoulder blades so they're not collapsing by your ears. Neck dangling long. 3 more breaths here. With your next inhale, lift your chest until your arms are straight. And then slide your hands, palms up, underneath the soles of your feet, so your toes come up to your wrists. And rock a little forward, so you're massaging your hands. And do the same thing, drop the top of the head down, pull the elbows sideways, and lift your shoulder blades up the back. Breathe down the spine. Long, flowing, slow breaths. Inhale to lift the chest until your arms are straight. And just take hold of your hips. And inhale, come up. Exhale, Samastiti. Now typically we turn to the right, so I'm going to be turning my back to you. if I turn to my right. So I'll go ahead and do that for this particular sequence, which is for triangle pose. We just reach out, right toes pointing to the back of the mat. Left heel is spinning a little bit toward the front of the mat and stacking your shoulders sideways, lengthening through the bottom waist. If you grab the big toe, put your hand on the block, or I'll let it rest with no weight, lightly on the shin. Come up with your next inhale. Stay facing the way you are and just turn your feet the other way. And lean into your triangle the other side. Taking the hand to the floor, big toe, block, or shin. Lengthening the bottom waist. Breathing into the back heel. Expand the chest. Deep, smooth breaths. Come up with an inhale. So no matter what your body is doing in terms of the amount of effort it takes to stay steady in a pose, you don't want that to interfere with, now we're going into twisting triangle. So you're facing all the way around to the back, right toe still pointing forward. Cheat the right foot a little to the right, so each heel is in line with the side of the sit bone, and your back heel is turned, your back foot's turned out about 45 degrees, and will lengthen out into a twisting triangle. Here again, your hand may come to the shin, to the floor, inside or outside, or to a block. So find that place where you keep the spine long and stack your right shoulder over the left. And breathe. Check how relaxed and full is your breath. One more big inhale. And then forward with the left arm to windmill up. And spin all the way around to face the front of your mat again. Cheating your right foot a little to the right, your left foot a little to the left. Squaring yourself to the front. And exhaling over into twisting triangle. So notice we're just going into a nice fluid flow. Balance on the feet, long through the spine. Relax and balance with the breath. Paying attention. One more big breath there. And then we come up with an inhale. Turn sideways. And step back to the front. Like we're cleaning the slate, each time between a set of movements, you come back to Namaste, which is like 0, cleaning the slate. We'll open again to the same way we did just now, only to a wider stance. So I find it helpful to kind of bend the knees deeply to reach that leg back, and then spiral the toes and heels to face back. Continue to turn the right foot so the toes point back. Go right through a warrior 2 into an extended angle. And here you can do what I'm doing, just keeping the forearm on the thigh. And trying to find a sense of a diagonal line from your left heel to your left fingers. Or you could take the hand deeper. Gently pressing your knee back into your arm. You could also put your hand on a block. One more big inhale. Come up through warrior two. Switch to the other side just by swiveling on the feet. Go through your warrior two again, and then lengthen, taking your forearm to the side and the right arm on a diagonal line by the ear. And if you'd like to come deeper, come down. So your hand, left hand can come to the floor or a block behind the left little toe. And get that extension, but pressing into the right heel and lengthening through the right chest, waist, hip, and arm. Come up with your next inhale through your warrior two. Straighten. And just the way we swivel to the back of the mat before, we'll do the same thing again here. Come right through a warrior one. And then take your left elbow to your right thigh and press the palms together. Now you could take the left arm down to the floor or to a block and take the right arm up and eventually by the ear. You could also swivel onto the ball of the back foot. I'm going to stay in the prayer because that's what's working for me today. Lengthen the spine, smooth the breath. Keep the heart open and wring your belly out like it's an laundry day. And then look down, reach forward, straighten and swivel. Face the front, sneak the left foot a little to the left, and take your Parsva Konasana, the twisted angle pose. So these are deeper versions of the triangle and the twisting triangle. You can take your variations if that's what's working for you today. Attend to the breath. It's really your fundamental effort. Balance and breath. Equanimity of mind. The twists are really cleansing. Look down. Come up. Swivel. Stand to the front. Now we'll do 4 wide-legged forward bends, Ashtanga-ish, A, B, C, and D. And I will face you for this one. You'll turn to your right again. You can turn any way you want so that you can see me. Feet about a leg length apart. Inhale. And just take the fingers to the shoulders, to the floor under the shoulders as you exhale. And here's where the block can be handy. Inhale, lift your chest again, coming up to the fingers, and then fold the top of your head toward the floor. Stack your elbows right over your wrists to find the right place for your hands. Some people it's in line with the big toe, some people it's in line with the arch, some people it's in line with the heel. Try to reach the top of the head down. The shoulder blades up, away from the ears. Your knees can be a little bent. If they're straight, they're very sturdy, and the weight is really even on the feet. Each time you exhale, you're hollowing out your belly and folding a little deeper. Each time you inhale, you're lengthening the front of your body. Your next inhale, come up to your hands. You might want to walk them out under the shoulders as you lift your chest. And then just hold your hips and come up with your next inhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the hips again. This time we'll keep them here. Inhale again. And use your belly strength to fold you all the way down. Shoulders lift away from the ears and the elbows move toward the ceiling. Just breathe. One inhale to come all the way up. Stay and stabilize yourself with your exhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind the back. Noticing which finger you crossed in front, because we'll change it. Lift your chest. Fold over. After 3 breaths, change the index finger that's in front. Come up with your next inhale. Pulling the arms down to help you come up. Stay the exhale. Last one. Asarita Padasana C. We take the yoga toe hold again like we did before. Grabbing the big toe, wrapping the thumb around and pulling up with the elbows. Stop a straight line through your wrist and elbow. Shoulders wide and the shoulder blades lifted and placed up, flat on the back. Neck dangling long. Front of the body lengthens with the inhale. Back of the body lengthens with the exhale. If you're tight in the hips, you can bend the knees. You could also sort of think about spreading your sit bones. If you're very flexible in your hips, you want to do the opposite. You want to pull your sit bones toward each other to protect your sacrum. Inhale, lift the chest till your arms are straight. Exhale, take your waist. Inhale, come up. So that was that for our wide-legged forward bend sequence. And then we step to the side again. So inhale, I'll go to the right again this time. Take the hands up the back in reverse Namaste. If that's not happening for you today, you could hold the elbows or wrists. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, swivel. Cheating the right foot to the right to square the hips. And lift the chest. Keep the chest open and the elbows and shoulders rolling open as you reach your chin down towards your inner shin. The gaze, your eye focus, drishti is the big toe. Pull the right hip back. Swivel your belly over the center of your thigh and root into your back heel. With your next inhale, come up. Continue to inhale as you swivel around and cheat your left foot a little to the left. And exhale to go straight over for 5 breaths. Parsvatonasana. Come up with an inhale. Swivel. And then step to the front. Namaste. So we'll take a standing balance, and you have options. If you have a strap handy, you could substitute a scarf or a necktie or a belt or a dog leash to loop around your foot. You could also hold your knee. If you can grab the big toe with the yoga toe hold, you can extend the leg up for 5 breaths. And if you'd like to practice folding forward, if you went forward, lift your chest, then open it out to the side. Look over your left shoulder. And just breathe. You could also do tree pose if you want. Take it back to the front. Let go, both hands to the hips. And you can take the leg lower if you want for 4 more breaths. And close. Other side. So whatever you're going to do, strap, dog leash, or grab a big toe or knee, or take tree pose. Try to maintain your Tadasana if you stay upright. And if you go forward, think about chin towards shin. Lift the chest if you went forward, and then take the leg out to the side. Lift your chest. Look over your right shoulder. Take it back to the front. Let go, hold the waist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put the foot down. We'll do a second standing balance, and there are options here as well. So again, you could do a tree pose. If you have half lotus, so half lotus looks like this. You bring the foot up, and you take the little toe side of the foot and wedge it into the top of the thigh. So the right knee sort of goes down. And then if you have the wrap, you can reach around and hold your big toe. Now you can just stay there. Some of you might bend the knee or keep the left leg straight as you fold forward. You could stay up, and you could also take tree with your foot anywhere on the leg but at the knee. If you were in the forward bend, lift your chest with an inhale and come on up. And just close. And then we'll do the other side. So either taking your half lotus, with or without the wrap, reaching around to hold the big toe if you can. Standing straight up, you can bring one hand to the heart. Or if you have the forward bend, you can just fold forward. Most of us need to bend the knee, I do, or at least I like to. And then lengthen your spine down. You could also stay up and take a tree pose. If you were in the forward bend, lift your chest with an inhale. Come all the way up. and just close. Now we'll do another A series, and we'll spend a little bit longer in chair, warrior 1 and warrior 2, which we didn't pay much attention to so far. But now that we're warmed up, we'll get into it more. And then we'll come down to the floor. I'm sure you're quite anxious to do it at this point. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. There's no stopping there. We just come to the front and drop into a chair for 5, 4, nice and deep, 3, bring your navel to the spine, 2, sitting down and back toward those heels. And your arms can be together or open. Your gaze can be forward or up. And then we fold. Lift your chest with an inhale. Upper step back. Vertical Mukha. Adho Mukha. And now the right foot steps forward. The back heel grounds down, which you have a space between your heels. Come up to warrior 1 for 5 breaths. Again, arms can be open or together, gaze can be forward or up. Balance on the feet. Balance the breath. One more big breath there, and then we're just going to straighten and swivel. We go to warrior 1 the other way. It's all about the breath. On the next exhale, just turn open into warrior 2. For 5. Look into those hips. Lift the chest, drop the shoulders. Come down a little bit deeper, and then straighten and swivel. And you're in warrior 2 on the other side. So you can see this is a seamless dance with breath. Feel the belly lifting, feel the hips stretching. One more big inhale, drop down. And we'll make our way through. You can skip the vinyasas anytime you want. By that I mean the chaturanga, up dog or cobra, down dog. And then there are different ways to come to sitting. The way I'm coming is just crossing my ankles to sit behind. Coming into the Tadasana of the seated sequence, which is called staff pose or Dandasana. We lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. The knees can be a little bent, because this is already a forward bend. You're in the right angle. So if you're feeling tight, you could also elevate your hips. And just be here for 5. It's like the 0, the clean slate. Sturdy legs, toes spreading open, long spine, long breath. Just enjoy being present and breathing within the container of the body. And then we're just going to come forward into a forward bend, and we have a few variations of this. It's actually 3 variations. And you could repeat the same variation for all 3 sets. The first one is to grab the big toe. So if that's not happening for you, just hold the leg. If you can grab the big toe, we have the same yoga toe hold. Slide the fingers between the big toe and the second toe. Wrap the thumbs around the outside. And then just bend your elbows sideways to stretch your chest over your legs. And just lengthen the front of your body. Think of lengthening the front of your body with each breath. Avoid hunching your shoulders, straining or struggling, or judging yourself or comparing yourself. This is about taking care of your body, taking your body to its best healthy edge, and breathing deeply, maybe moving past that edge to a new edge. There's always a new edge. Don't worry about that. Not that I thought you would be worried about it. So that's our first set, 5 breaths. Then we take a little lift and lengthening, and the hands come around the outsides of the feet or over the tops. You pull the little toe side of your foot towards you and push the big toe side of your foot away as you extend, and keep your focus, your eyes on your big toes. Your inner focus on your breath. Lengthening the front body, hollowing out the belly, lengthening the back body, keeping the chest open. The breath full and deep and free and balanced. Last one, we'll inhale to lift the chest. And now this is the deepest one. If you can reach around and grab a wrist, then you reach around and grab a wrist. Or you stay with one of the other variations. If you're all the way folded, you can take the forehead toward the shin. Paschimottanasana. Cures all manner of ills in the body. Very inner reflective, very good for digestion. Opens up the whole back of the body. And then lift your chest. Exhale. Inhale. Now there's a counter pose, and this is a theme that happens a lot in yoga, is that you take a forward bend, then you take it back, and then you take a forward bend, then you take it back. And you may have noticed that already. This particular one, I can't do the full version of because I have a shoulder injury, but you can lean back, push your chest open, point your toes. I'm just going to go a little bit up. Stay there for a moment just so you can see. Paschimottanasana, you're going to lift your hips as high as you can for 5 breaths. I'm just going to stay here for today. We'll go ahead and lift up. You could stay here with me. Just a little back bend. So you're stretching out the front of your body, just like you just stretched out the back of your body. And if your hips are up, take them up a little higher with your next inhale. And then we'll all lower the hips. And we'll do a few seated hip openers. The first one, Ardha Padma Paschimottanasana. Half bound lotus forward bend. And again, like we did in the standing balance, we take the little toe side of the foot with a flexion into the crease at the top of the left thigh. And if your knee isn't touching the floor, you can put a block under it, or you could sit on a block, or both. Now, if you have the wrap, you could do that again, kicking the big toe. If not, you could take both hands to the leg or the foot. And we'll take 5 breaths. Eye focus helps you to stay present, listening to the wave sound of the breath, the Ujjayi breath. Hollow out your belly as you exhale and see if that doesn't help you go a little deeper. Remember in your forward bend, you're lengthening your front body. Think of your tailbone lengthening to the back of your mat. Keep both of your hips down. And then lift your chest, come up. In typical Ashtanga, there's a little jump back they call between the seated postures where you cross your ankles and lift your hips off the floor. This is not something I'm doing right now. You could put one foot down. And from lifting your hips off, you could shoot your legs back or just step back and take your vinyasa and then come back to sitting. To do that on the other side, and Ashtangis like to jump through and come right to sitting. These are all things that I'm working back towards since I had my car accident. But you know, in yoga, it's really all about doing as much as you can safely do it without judgment, with equanimity, and even a sense of humor. Keep it light, make it fun. So if you don't do that whole jump back thing, you just stay here for 5 breaths, sort of resetting that way. So the purpose of the jump back is to reset the body between these deep hip openers. You take it on the other side, wedging the foot, wrapping or not wrapping. You simply do this. You have the wrap. You are squaring the chest and coming forward for 5 breaths. So I start up a little bit so I can get into my breath. And then let the breath carry me deeper. Come up with an inhale, all the way up with an exhale, and you could do your little pick up, making your way to Chaturanga up dog, or you could stay here with me. And now we do Trianga Mukha Paschimottanasana, which is the reverse with that big hip opener. Now we turn the right foot under, top of the foot to the mat, and it can be helpful to sit on a block here. If your foot is tight, you could also roll something up under the foot, the knee in line with the hip. And try to get even. So you could also put your hand here to kind of help you stay level and work toward being level on both hips as you come forward. And again, reference G is the big toe, shoves away from the ears. And now lift the chest. You could pick up and jump back, or not. And we'll take the other side. So if you need to sit on a block or lean a bit, use your right hand for leverage to keep yourself as upright as you can be, and then go forward from there. And if you could pad something under your foot, if you do it. And just notice one side of your body might feel different than the other. Leave the chest to come up. I like to give my knees a little bit of a rub after that. Now we take Janu Shirsasana. So in the typical Ashtanga, we have 3 sets of this movement. The first one is heel to groin, the knee a little wider than a right angle. And again, you can put something under your hips or under your knee. And we go forward for 5 breaths. Trying to square your chest. I'm meditating on my breath, letting it carry me into the pose. Lift up through a flat back. Do your jump back, or reset here in Dandasana step pose. Chest lifted. Take your other heel so the knee is a little wider than a right angle. Turning your chest to face the straight leg. And this leg is like a Tadasana or Dandasana, right? It's straight. Sometimes they even call it the standing leg, even though you're not standing on it. It's still active. Practice being present with what is. And come up. So I'm going to skip the rest of the Jani Shirsasana. I'm going to go right into Baddha Konasana. Start to come down. It's mindful to keep the practice manageable time-wise for your day. And if you can come forward in your Baddha Konasana, come forward, you're reaching your chin toward the floor. If it's better for you to sit up and work on opening up that way, you can do that. You could also sit on a lift up, and then we round the spine and take the forehead toward the floor. And I really can't go as far this way, which is interesting. And just breathe where I am and see if my breath can help to open up my body. And then flatten out the back to come up. Let's take a boat pose, Navasana. You know you can keep your knees bent. You can hold on, you can straighten the legs, you can hold on, let go for 5. Dristi Bikta 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Hug in. If you can lift up with your toes on the mat or without your toes on the mat, lift up. 5, no judgment. 4, you need to hold on, hold on. How do you know whether you need to hold on? If you're collapsing or straining. And 5, other ankle on top. So right ankle on top if you did left first. I'm just doing one more round today. So you're supporting yourself from your bandhas. Left on top. Last little lift. And we'll lie down. So again, you might want to strap. Or if you can grab your big toe like we did while we were standing up, we're going to be taking the same thing but supine. So you could loop something around the foot. You could also, if you don't have anything to loop, you could do it with the knee. Or you could do it with the big toe, keep the knee bent. So you're drawing the leg towards you, then inhale, and exhale, come off your shoulders and reach your forehead toward your shin. This leg is sturdy, and you're trying to press the back of the thigh down. We use the hand on the hip to remind us to keep this leg grounded. Lift up, and then lower your upper body, and open the leg out to the right, keeping your hips stable. You're using a lot of core here so that you don't roll off that hip. And look over that left shoulder. Shoulder blades on the mat. Breath flowing free. Nice calm breaths. Now bring it back. And take another little lift. And then take the leg with both hands and stretch it a little more towards you for a couple of breaths. If you can. Keeping the knee bent, you can hold the back of the thigh and stretch it that way. And then we'll lower that leg with control. So even here, you're holding that strength in your core. And then just taking the other leg up, holding the knee, a strap, big toe, big knee bent or straight. And bring your chin up towards your shin, grounding your right thigh. Lower your upper body. Keep your hips stable as you move your leg out toward the left and turn your head to the right. Get back to the center line and fold up. And then lower your chest, but bring your leg toward your chest. Wherever that is for you this morning or whenever you're practicing. Typically, an active practice is done first thing in the morning to wake the body up, get all the juices flowing, and a more restorative practice will be done in the evening. Now put both feet flat into a bridge. We'll take 2 to 3 back bends. I'm going to start off with bridge pose. If you want to go into full upward bow, you could take upward bow, or you could get on your belly and do a regular bow pose. Otherwise, go ahead and exhale to scoop and lift. If you can clasp your arms, do so, or you could take this position. In either case, you want to lift your chest up, pushing down with the arms. Relax the buttocks, balance on the feet, point the knees forward, and lift your chest towards your face. So there's no weight on the base of the neck. Deep slow breaths. Lift everything up, and then lengthen down through each vertebrae, and rest for a couple of breaths. You could repeat that twice more if you wanted. Or this is really your time, so you could do something else. You could go to the wall and hop up to a handstand or a headstand, forearm balance. I'm going to take an inverted wheel or an upward bow, known as Urdhva Dhanurasana. So if you want to follow along, take your hands next to your on either side of your head, as wide or a little wider than your shoulders, and stack your elbows so they're not winging out. Get even on your hands. And you go up just as though you're going into a bridge. So you're scooping and lifting the hips. And I like to stop right here and sort of hug my armpits down to stabilize the shoulder and to check that my elbows are still straight up and down. And then push and come up, lifting your chest up over your wrists. Breathe deeply. Really enjoy this big stretch for the shoulders and heart. Relax your toes. Make sure they're still pointing forward. Relax your neck. Relax your buttocks. Then bring your chin in so you don't compromise your neck as you come down fluidly. And to counter all that big back bending, and you could actually do another one if you have the steam. Or you can come up to you could hug your knees into your chest. You can come up to Paschimottanasana, which is a nice counter pose for the big back bend. And remember, this is the forward bend. So we'll be here for 10 breaths. Ease into it because we just did some big back bending. Deep, slow breaths. I'm starting to slow down the mind. Even more. This is your inner reflection. Take a moment to congratulate yourself for your hard work. That's the effort of staying present. Modifying when you need to, resting when you need to, but staying present with yourself, with your body, your breath. And then come up. Scoot your hips to come down. And we close with the legs up in the air pose, which you could do with your hips on a block. You could scoot yourself hips up to the wall, take your legs up the wall for your Buri Karani, which is very restorative. Or you could take a modified shoulder stand, which is what I'm going to do. So you could take hips on a block and be here for 10 slow breaths. If you have a blanket or a big beach towel, you could fold it and put it under your upper back so that your head is off the blanket and your shoulders are coming up to the edge. This gives you a little support so that there's not so much potential pressure in your neck. So you don't want pressure in your neck, of course. The way I do it is just to come up to sort of a modified version, which is to make a shell with my hands. Here I'm on my forearms, up in my upper arms, and there's no weight on my neck. I could be here indefinitely, just letting the tension drain out of the body. Toes are spreading, the focus is the toes. Eyes are relaxed, the breath is relaxed. If you're with me and you've been here for a couple breaths and your neck is okay and your shoulders are quite open, you could scoot your elbows closer together on the mat. Walk your hands higher up your back and come a little more upright for Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. And then if you can take plow, the toes go to the floor. If your toes don't touch, keep your hands on your back and bring your knees to your forehead. If they do touch, you can focus. And then bend your knees, press your thumbs flat. Use your core to roll down with control. Lower your upper body. Stabilize your core muscles. And then lower your legs with control. So your buttocks are on your hands, palms down. As your heels come down, push with your elbows and lift your chest up. Breathe. So you have a nice arc through the body. Breathing here in a counter pose for your shoulders down. Stretching your heart and throat. Throat tends to hold a lot of tension. All those unsaid things. So it's time to snuggle yourself into a Shavasana. I'm going to leave you here. Please stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Put something over you if you're cool. Put something over your eyes. The longer you can stay in Shavasana, the better. At least 5 minutes. Those of you that would like to come out of it after a couple of breaths and need to get going. And you come up to sitting. I always like to close with acknowledgement of the inner light. May the wicked become good. May the good become peaceful. May the peaceful become free. And may the free help others to become free. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Please stay in Shavasana if you like. Or you can stay seated in your meditation. Have a great day.